And welcome back to the final part of Batman Arkham Asylum on Steam. I am one Welsh sheep yet again, and today, ladies and gentlemen, we have returned to the Warden's office just before making our way to the end of the game, because there is actually a little secret hidden Easter egg in here that actually teases the second game. If you go into the specific point in the Warden's office and blow up the middle of the wall, there's a secret room. There's no benefit to going into this room apart from the fact you see this map here, which just teases what the plans are for the next Batman game. And basically what I'm going to say right now is I'm never, ever, ever doing the Riddler trophies again, because those take too long. Not in the sequel games, I'm not touching the Riddler trophies. I'm not touching the Riddler trophies at all, ever again. But now we're also back at the control room, if you remember this place, because we now have all the Chronicles of Arkham, and what's this? Let's scan it.
My name is Quincy Sharp, the spirit of Amadeus Arkham. You have done well to decipher my story, and I pray it has helped you on your path. I trust that through my writings you will do what is right. Please, I implore you, continue my work. This city deserves a savior. Continue my work.
Okay, so good old Quincy Sharp went off the deep end. So, yeah, that's a neat little thing that a lot of people get confused by, because there's no indication to go back to that room in order to actually help, you know, in order to get the final Chronicle of Arkham, because it just flat doesn't show up on the map. It's quite annoying, actually.
List only. If your name's not on the list, you ain't going in. Let's see, A, no, that's not right. So it's B, Bane. Ah, here it is, Batman. Hey, looks like you're the guest of honor. Give him a big welcome, guys. Way to go. Get some, yeah.
Why can't I get a welcome like this every time I go somewhere? Oh, I feel so happy. I'm so popular. Now, right, you can actually fight these mooks if you really want to and blow them up and do all kinds of nonsense to them, but just for the sake of progress, I'm just going to walk straight past them and go straight to the final battle.
Are you excited, Bats? I mean, we've been building up to this point all night. Don't tell me you've not been looking forward to it. I know I have. Surprise! Everyone always said I should be in television. You don't want to miss this, really. It'll be a blast. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Why didn't you stop Batman?
Me? It was your plan, you goofy clown.
I'm sending you back to the ventriloquist where you belong. You had to spoil everything, didn't you? Beating up Bane, feeding Scarecrow to Croc, slapping around Harley, my hobby, by the way, and ruining all my lovely Venom plants.
It's over, Joker.
Over? Why, my dear delusional Dark Knight, it hasn't even begun.
Of course, they're gonna throw one last mook rush at us just before the final battle. And this is probably one of the most annoying, if not the most annoying mook rush in the entire game. But just deal with it the same way you've dealt with all the previous ones. Beat the big guys first, then deal with the small fry, because the big guys are the big, well, they're the big threat. They're the big kahoonies, if you will. And also, if you upgraded your Batarang to the point that I have now as well, your quick Batarang will throw off 3, which means you can inflict stuns on multiple enemies at once, and basically it's guaranteed that you're always going to hit the Titans when you aim at them with a quick boomerang. So it's a lot, it's very useful to get the get the Batarang skills up for this point. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is it. This is legitimately the end of the game, and you might be wondering, what's the final boss going to be? Is it going to be an amazing standoff with the Joker? Will it be phenomenal? Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'll talk more about the boss fight when I get to it, but unfortunately, the hype, it's not worth it. The final boss is really, really disappointing considering the hype and the build up to it, so that's kind of a shame. But to be fair, what are you expecting? Is one interesting boss in the entire game. The rest of the bosses are kind of just like Titan Mook. Again! Yay! You know, folks, so it's not much to say in regards to that. But the only problem I kind of have with this last Mook Rush. I keep forgetting to pronounce the H. This is, it does take a long time to actually complete successfully. Not nearly as long as the elevator sequence, which I guess is probably the closest thing this game has to an actual elevator section from most beat-em-up games, but apart from that one sequence with the elevators, this is the longest Mook Rush, and honestly, it's the most boring. And it's only because we've gone to the point of the game now. We want to fight Joker. We want to beat the game. We don't want to fight mooks. And this is kind of the big thing that really ruins the ending for me in a lot of ways. Like, the final boss is really disappointing. The final challenge up to the boss is just another, just fight the guys again. No interesting stealth sequence, nothing like that. It's just fight the mooks. And unfortunately, with this game, it gets a bit better with later down the line with the Arkham series in regards to this. There aren't many enemy types, you know? I mean, for the sake of this game, there's plenty of enemy types, but to throw this many Mook Rushes at us around this point of the game, you would expect them to have a lot more enemy types just for this occasion, you know? Just to add that extra bit challenge right on before the final battle, you know, to sort of pump you up. But unfortunately, the developers never did that. Kind of a missed opportunity, in my opinion.
Nicely done, Bats. You deserve a prize. Your old pal, Commissioner Gordon. Say, he looks all run down. Let's pep him up.
No! Batman! Get away!
Here we go! We're gonna have some fun now, kiddies! You're trying to resist the change! That's not fair! Come on, give in! So, you wanna play hardball, Bats, do you? Your call! Tickle, tickle! No! Oh, you're ruining my big night! Months of planning down the crapper. I just wanted to bring down your grim facade and for once let you see the world as I see it, giggling in a corner and bleeding. But you've denied me even that. I have nothing to live for.
Arkham Asylum remains under lockdown, its staff at the mercy of the rampaging inmates. Just 10 minutes ago, we received this taped message.
Greetings, Gotham! Joker here! Arkham is mine! Soon I'll unleash madness untold onto the streets of Gotham. But first, direct your eyes to destruction of your dear Dark Knight.
We've been circling the tower since the... Wait! There! Joker is making his move!
Showtime, Batman! Let's give the room something to talk about! Ha! Two freaks in a fight to the death! And for one night only, please welcome our special guest referee, come on! Change! Get crazy! It's the only way to beat me! You know you want to. Never. You wasted the antidote on yourself? Now that's funny! Hysterical! But you still spoil my fun, and for that, I'll paint Arkham with your blood. Let's get ready to tango!
So there we are, ladies and gentlemen, final boss time, Titan Joker. Now you might think, this looks amazing. Why is this a disappointment? That, like you said. Well, the reason it's a disappointment is because it primarily boils down to a mook rush. That is right, the final battle is basically a mook rush. Basically, Joker's going to take a few swipes at you and then jump up to the top platform, and then we need to deal with all of the mooks on the lower platform by here. Then, whenever he turns around to face the helicopter that is in the sky to do his showboating shindig, what we need to do then is simply pull him down with the backclaw and then punch him in the face repeatedly. Rinse, repeat, and that is it. This boss fight is such an amazing concept, but it's so poorly done. It was so poorly implemented. It's like they rushed it out at the end of the... They just rushed it out at the end of development of the game. Like, I don't know, they really could have done so much more with this boss fight. They could have had... Hell, even a couple of quick time events could have made things a bit more interesting. But no, they just... Mook rush. Just fight the mooks, you know. No puzzles involving all your batarangs, all the skills you learned to this point. Nothing like that. And that's the real... That's the real thing about it that bugs me. Like, they could have... This game's basically done as a Metroidvania game. So what they could have done is they could have made it so each phase of the boss fight had... Do you make use of Batman's arsenal in a separate way? Like, say, for one phase you have to manipulate your Batarang to go to hit him in the head. You know, that would have been a good idea. I would have loved to see something like that. However, they just really dropped the ball in this boss fight, and it's such a shame because the rest of the game, except for the other boss fights, I suppose, it's just amazing. It's just a bad blow to the game, because the worst thing I can possibly say about most games is the worst thing you can possibly do is ruin the end of the game. If you mess up the ending, people will remember the bad ending more than the good game for the most part. Now, this is one of the exceptions to rules where most people just say this is a fantastic game through and through. But for a lot of instances, like a lot of I'm trying to think of a good example now. A lot of people will just point down the game purely because of a bad ending, because they want the game to end on a high note. Like Mario Galaxy 2 even is a bad example, a good example of this even. Because as phenomenal as the game is, a lot of people lower down the points of it. They think less of the game, that I know of anyway, the people I talk to, purely because the final boss fight is rubbish. And honestly, the final boss fight in that game is abysmal. It's literally ground pound 3 times and he's done. It doesn't take 10 seconds. But you know what I'm getting at here, folks? I just really feel they could have done a much better job of this boss. It's such a wasted opportunity. Now, in the sequel game, Arkham City, they do a great they do a lot more with the boss fights, and they do a good job with them. Basically, the boss fights in Arkham City are really good. I can't speak for Arkham Knight, and I can't speak entirely for Arkham Oranges, because I haven't finished that one yet. But, I don't know, it's just strange how the boss fights aren't all that good. But the beauty of this boss fight is whenever the Joker does land on his face, we do finish him off with a finishing blow of a Shoryuken, which I love. You know, I always love my Shoryuken in video games. They are amazing, amazing skills. What can I say? Although one thing you will need to be careful of is when the Joker is swiping you. He has a surprisingly large hitbox, so he will be able to occasionally clip you with one of his nails or something, and it can hurt quite a big deal. So just run away from him, don't walk away from him like I am, but then again, I'm a cocky person when it comes to playing most action games. It causes me death in a lot of them, but you know, I can't help it. I'm cocky in video games. It's just the way I am. I'm not very patient either, which also doesn't help, especially in Batman, where being patient means being better flat out, so I don't know. But this, the only kind of thing I gotta be careful with this Mook Rush is the occasional bombs that Joker chuck in from the sides of the arena, which, for the most part, they go near you, they make a beeping noise, they explode. Just run away from them, and you will not get hurt. And you also need to just be careful of the other enemy types and the electrified barriers on the side of the arena, which will hurt you if you touch. Do not touch the electrified barriers. You know, and that's all I can really say about it. Otherwise, we've seen everything. The boss fight's done. And with that, actually, it's time to land the finishing blow onto good old Joker himself. So bring it on, Joker. I'm Batman. Shocking, isn't it?
I can take it. I can take anything you throw at me, Bats. You can't beat me. I'm actually going to win. Ready for the next round?
Always.
What?
I'll never let you win. Never.
I'm fine, Barbara. The GCPD finally has control of the asylum. Doctors are treating the injured, but it looks like it'll take some time. All super criminals are back in custody. Quite a mess in there. And the venom-enhanced inmates are returning to normal. Though for some, the process can be quite painful.
Dad, how are you doing?
I'll survive. See you tonight, Barbara. Shame about your car. Can I give you a ride?
Thanks, Jim, but I have one on the way.
Get some rest. You deserve it.
Second National Bank was just robbed by Harvey Dent, a.k.a. Two
Stay safe, Jim.
2 officers down. The suspect is fleeing in their patrol car.
And there we go, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for Batman Arkham Asylum. This is an absolutely amazing game. I thoroughly recommend it to anybody who loves action games, who loves stealth games, and anybody who is a big fan of the Batman himself. Because this is a fantastic love letter of Batman fans, with the exception of the boss fights. Ugh. And it's such a good game. It is so good. It's so fun to play through, so enjoyable. And it just, for the most part, is really well paced as well. The graphics still hold up today. It's still got a good story. You know, it's a fantastic time. I love playing through this game. I really recommend this to anyone else out there. Now, the only problem with the game, I have to really say, is some of the repetitiveness from the fighting areas, like the Mook Rushes, and of course, the boss battles. But apart from that, this game is a solid job, and it is one of, if not the best Batman game to date. Now, a lot of people would argue Arkham City is better in some ways and is worse in other ways, but I'll talk about that whenever I tackle Arkham City at some point in the future. But with that is it for this playthrough, folks. So I really hope you all enjoyed this LP. I've enjoyed making it. It's been a ton of fun. I've had a lot of breaks during the course of this one, though, folks. So I do apologize about that. And it's not so much in advance; it's happened already. So I do apologize for my breaks midway through. So all I can really say is thank you all for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. Don't be sheepish, people. And I'll catch you all in another Let's Play another time. So yeah, don't be sheepish. I'll see you then. Bye!